Namaskaram. Welcome to Pole Pulse. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. If I tell you the location, we are on the southernmost tip of mainland India in the beautiful city of Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala. And the majestic building that we are standing next to, I should tell you about it, it's Napier's Museum, a 150-year-old heritage building that houses one of India's oldest and the most renowned art and natural history museum. So in that sense, this location, this venue also is increasingly important. Now, as you can see, that is very hot in Thiruvananthapuram, hot and humid. Evenings are a little better with the breeze coming in from the sea. But as far as political temperatures are concerned, the mercury is only rising. And why not? Kerala is going into the polls, all 20 seats in the second phase of the general elections. It's been projected as a three-cornered contest with the UDF, LDF and the BJP. In the course of our debate and discussion, as we try and decode the political scene of Kerala, there are some pertinent questions that we'll try and explore in particular. Let me read out those questions to you, and you can see them on your screens as well. First, are the Congress and the left friend or foes? Question 2, will the BJP be able to gain some foothold in Kerala in these elections? Question 3, who will come out on top as far as the blockbuster contest here in the capital city of Thiruvananthapuram is concerned? We'll talk about that as well. And finally, how do the southern states in this edition of General Elections 2024 hold key to success and power? We'll talk about those themes, but first, let's take a look at this special story. It talks about the beauty of the city of Thiruvananthapuram and what's at stake in these elections. Majestic sea waves, pristine sand and some fresh coconut water to sip. What better way to experience God's own country, Kerala? While the state is always bustling with tourists, it is now buzzing with election fervor. This is the renowned Kovalam beach. Welcome to Thiruvananthapuram. Kerala is a prominent tourist destination in India. As the state gears up to vote in the general elections, potential of tourism sector is also in focus.
My whole family is dependent on this work. I hope after the elections the government can help me set up a proper shop. It will help increase my earnings.
Intense campaigning is taking place across Kerala as all 20 Lok Sabha constituencies will vote in the second phase of elections on April 26th. Congress-led UDF, BJP and alliance of left-wing parties, LDF, are in the fray. The elections in Thiruvananthapuram is proving to be one of the most keenly watched contests in the Lok Sabha elections. On the one hand is three-time Congress MP Shashi Tharoor. Challenging him is Union Minister and BJP leader Rajiv Chandrasekhar. Making the contest triangular is Panniyan Ravindran from the left. Driving through the city, we reach the iconic Techno Park. Spread over 700 acres, it is the first and one of the largest IT parks in the country. At Techno Park, we meet Gen Robotics, a leading Indian startup and robotics company. Their flagship innovation, Bandicoot, is a manhole cleaning robot. It is helping end the scourge of manual scavenging across India.
Kerala is becoming a hub of innovations. We are seeing the election, the general election 2024, not only as a testament to the biggest or the world's largest democracy, but also this we are seeing a road opening to the growth, especially on the economy side and especially onto the side of technology, innovation, startups. With rich heritage, thriving tourism and advances in knowledge economy,
Days ahead hold great promise for the coastal state of Kerala. The outcome of these elections are expected to play a key role in shaping that future. With camera person SP Dubey, Shubhendu Ghosh, DD India, Thiruvananthapuram. All right, let me now introduce you to the panelists who are joining us in the program today. Representing the BJP is Vineeta Hariharan, also Tara Tojo Alex from the Congress, Gayathry Babu from CPIM, and to help me through this conversation is senior political analyst Dr. G. Gopakumar. Shall we put our hands together for our panelists as they give us insights into the political dynamics of Kerala? First, we should talk about the theme of exodus. We plan to move the discussions in different ways, but exodus of leaders in political parties from the Congress to the BJP in particular. The exodus of leader that has just happened in Wayanad. Wayanad, remember, is an important seat. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi is a sitting MP from there and is again contesting from the same seat. The committee secretary of the Congress party of Wayanad has resigned, has quit just a week ahead of the general elections and has joined the BJP. And perhaps more important in perception are the allegations that he makes. He talks about how Rahul Gandhi is difficult to approach even for the leaders in Wayanad. And the second, he has challenged Rahul Gandhi to clarify if he is going to fight from Amethi, that is in Uttar Pradesh, the original seat of Rahul Gandhi that lost in 2019, or not. Let me come to the Congress representative straight away. Tara, how do you see this setback, if at all, and what does it also mean for perception of Rahul Gandhi in Wayanad?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Ajit, for this question. Well, as we all know, when people shift parties, it's definitely for position, power, and money. So, as you mentioned, in the Wayanad constituency, a committee member has moved to BJP. But what amazes me is, let me take the count of the last 30 days, okay? That is, let's take the count from March to April to 2013. And I'm just going to read out a couple of names of the eminent leaders of BJP who moved into Congress. Okay, just give me a minute. From Madhya Pradesh, the ex-MLA, BJP leader Lakshman Tiwari. Okay, veteran BJP leader and former minister Mallika Gundar joins Congress in Karnataka. Devani Satish Madika, who served as a member of BJP Executive Committee and contested as a BJP candidate in the last election, joins Congress from Achampet. Jaiprakash Bai, BJP MLA from Jharkhand, former MPs Pappu Yadav and Chaudhry Lal from Jammu, and I have a list of around 100 people.
Sure. Tara, I take that. The list must be long and
yes.
You've come prepared, but we are in Kerala, we're talking about the Wayanad seat. It's not lost on anyone the political significance of Wayanad for Rahul Gandhi and for the Congress. If you could briefly make that point on what does it mean for Rahul Gandhi fighting the elections from Wayanad when his leaders are leaving his side a week before the elections.
Last elections, for the last Lok Sabha elections, Rahul Gandhi won with a whooping majority of about 4 lakh votes in Wayanad, and we're expecting that majority to go higher this year with the anti-incumbency that exists in the center and in the state. And leaders who are local leaders going into BJP for power, position and money is not going to make any difference to Congress party. For example, Padmaja Venugopal from Thrissur, she joined BJP last month. What difference did it make? Even her social media admin has not followed her.
All right. So to the Congress, it doesn't make a difference if the leadership in a critical seat like that are leaving their side. They will stick to their positions and views.
Exactly.
Let me take a comment from others, Tara, as well. Vineeta, let me come to you. I don't know how big a scoop it is ahead of the elections in Kerala and Wayanad in particular, but in perception terms, a senior team member of Rahul Gandhi now leveling serious allegations against him. How do you see this development?
Yeah, absolutely. So, thank you for having me here. Good evening, all of you. Wonderful to be here in lovely Thiruvananthapuram. So, so as far as Wayanad is concerned, it's extremely symbolic when crucial party member, an office bearer of Wayanad, of the Congress party himself, leaving and, and also kind of attributing it to the leadership of Rahul Gandhi. So, this is not the first time that people have left the Congress attributing leadership failures in the Congress and the non-approachability of the higher echelons in the party party in the Congress to the, the rest of the members of the Congress party. So there's clearly a divide between the, the Parivar and the rest of the non-Parivar members of the Congress party. That's a complaint that's come right from the horse's mouth, from the people who've had an exodus into the BJP. And the kind of people who've left the Congress and joined the BJP are all stalwarts. They're all leadership in their own rights in the Congress, and so therefore leaving a great vacuum in the Congress. So for mostly all of them have left quoting leadership issues. So that reflects a lot of crackdowns or cracks in the, or fault lines in the Congress party, in the Indian National Congress party, and in the leadership of Rahul Gandhi. So this is not the first time. So therefore this reflects the ailing party, or the, the grand old party is no longer the grand old party, is what I would say.
All right. Gayatri, we understand, and we'll come to that point in detail, the manner in which Congress and left, although part of the India Alliance outside, are arch rivals in Kerala. This particular development that has happened in Wayanad, does that give you ammunition?
See, like you said, in a pan-India movement, when you consider, the Congress is one of the major leader when it comes to India bloc. And in Kerala, they see the CPIM or the left as its prime enemy. Now that confuses people, that actually gives a surprise, because, see, that is not the kind of resistance you hope from Congress against BJP. Now Rahul Gandhi very recently, who, like you said, lost his seat in Amethi, has come to Kerala, which in a seat which has been Congress's seat for the past few years, has come to Kerala because of the fear that he knew he would lose a seat in North India, has come to Kerala and has again chosen the same seat and has not revealed whether he is going to contest in Amethi hereafter. It's still under discussion, so there's no clear picture right now. But Rahul Gandhi very recently made a scandalous statement saying that the PM should arrest, inviting Modi to arrest the Chief Minister of Kerala. Now that has created a lot of havoc in the state,
Let me quickly get a comment from Tara on that. Do you want the Chief Minister of Kerala to be arrested?
First, let me ask my CPM representative, do you want to oppose BJP by supporting Congress? If
right.
yes.
And what is your answer to the question?
Yeah,
first,
I will answer that question. See, when the India bloc was formed, Sitaram Yechuri was invited to join the India bloc. And did CPM send a representative in the first meeting? No, they did not. And in all elections, whenever there are alliances between Congress and CPM in the center, you can see that there may be differences locally. For example, in 1989, when BJP and CPM joined hands to form their alliance for the center government, here in Kerala they were arch enemies. Same thing happened in West Bengal. So whatever happened in the state...
I understand the problems in the alliance, Tara, but the question was also about the nature of words that are being used by leaders to attack the other. Rahul Gandhi saying that why is there no ED inquiry, why is he not in jail? Is the Congress looking for that kind of an action against Pinarayi Vijayan, was my question. Yes or no?
Definitely we are looking forward towards an action against Pinarayi Vijayan, because Pinarayi Vijayan has... Yeah,
so you will take action if Congress comes to power, if...
yes, we will, because we can see corruption right in front of our eyes, so we will definitely take an action.
You've made your point. Dr. Gopakumar, let me quickly come to you and get a perspective. Again, because we were talking about Wayanad, help us understand, how does it also in a way represent a microcosm of the political dynamics in Kerala?
Good evening. Wayanad attracts more importance because there is a VIP candidate and the whole country would look forward, and Wayanad has received national attention after Rahul Gandhi chose to contest last year. Although he also contested from Amethi and lost the election, Wayanad became the focus of attention. This time also, Wayanad is going to be very important, and I am not sure whether Rahul Gandhi will prefer Amethi, because he is more confident of Wayanad, and why should we take a risk in Amethi, where the whole state has a strong BJP support base. So given the kind of risk involved in Amethi, I think he will settle down in Wayanad only. But as discussion goes ahead, of the 20 Lok Sabha constituencies, Wayanad is certainly a very strong seat of the Congress and the UDF. So success or victory in Wayanad is not the fundamental problem, but there are issues, as you had highlighted, about the minor kind of exodus from the party at the local level, and also the kind of development that is required for Wayanad, because you need to work a lot to develop that region, because the region has certainly backwardness in terms of the fall in prices of cash crops, the sufferings of the farming sector, then definitely the human-animal conflict, and many other issues of underdevelopment, including infrastructure. So once it becomes a VIP constituency, whether in power or not, the MP has to organize in such a way that the constituency leads and it brings progress and development. And Wayanad is certainly a backward area.
All right, Dr. Gopakumar, thank you for that perspective. And all the audience members here, as I welcome you, I also request you to engage in this conversation. In a few minutes from now, I'll be turning to you. Your questions of people of Kerala, of India, that's an important aspect of this program. Remember, in Poll Pulse is represented by you all here. So I'll wait for your questions as we take forward the program. One of the most amusing aspects, I say amusing because the scene is quite different when you go out of Kerala. Left and Congress are allies under the India alliance. They are friends, they fight together, but in Kerala they become arch rivals. We've seen sharp attack by Congress leadership and the CPIM leadership against one another. How does this dynamic work? I'll first come to the Congress representative, Tara. Is it a strategy or a dilemma in Kerala?
It is neither a strategy nor a dilemma, because Congress and LDF, UDF and LDF has been arch rivals since day one. And what in the national level, even when CPM is part of India bloc, what we can see here is that LDF is taking strong stance against Congress in the Lok Sabha elections. Okay, so if you look at what's happening in Kerala, you can see there's a lot of anti-incumbency going on against the Pinarayi Vijayan government. Pinarayi Vijayan is, if you see his record, you can see that he's always been attacking Congress in his speeches as to what Rahul Gandhi is doing, what is Congress doing, whereas there's a dire picture of how the Modi government has failed India. How the Modi guarantees have failed. And we can see that in the past 8 years of Pinarayi's rule, he has not even opened his mouth one single time to utter the name of Narendra Modi or Amit Shah. And we are quite amazed and surprised by this fact when he says that he is the part of Indian alliance and they're not attacking BJP, they're not uttering a word against BJP, but constantly attacking Congress. Why is that?
What you're saying, Tara, we've already heard from Rahul Gandhi and other leaders. The question that I'm really putting to you is to help us understand the complexity of it. These are national elections for power in Delhi. You are part of alliance with the left, but you're fighting them in the state. That complexity, if you could help the audiences understand, because it may also confuse the voters. It's not just the elections in Kerala. After this week, elections are taking elsewhere where Congress and left are together. Which version of friendship or enmity are we going to believe?
The version of enmity in Kerala is that's what it is. That's the blunt truth.
Okay.
That's the blunt truth. Because I'll quote certain examples, certain dialogues given by certain CPM leaders over these elections. In Vatakara Parliament is one of the prominent, glamorous elections that is going on, where the UDF candidate is Mr. Shafi Parambil and the LDF candidate is Srimati Shailaja. And there you can see that the BJP president, K. Surendran, says that Shafi Parambil is going to fail. Keeping in mind, BJP has only 9% votes in Vatakara. So under what confidence is he saying that? Unless CPM and BJP is going hand in hand in Vatakara.
Right. I take that point and then the sequence of allegations continue. Gayathry, your take on the manner in which we are supposed to understand this competition, this rivalry in the state and friendship outside. What is your take and perspective on it?
Like I said in the beginning, first thing I want to point out here is I seriously doubt whether the Congress people have heard any speeches that the CM has made throughout these days. I don't know if they have heard it, because Modi and Amit Shah have always been the repeated names in his speeches and his press meets. Maybe because they have not been part of any CAA protest that has been happening in Kerala.
If I may just add to that, at the very recent interview that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has given, he speaks about both Congress and left being two sides of the same coin, and there are allegations that he levels against both of you. But complete your point.
Yeah, Modi can say that, but what people see here is that one frog jumping from Congress to BJP, then BJP's frog jumping from there to Congress. So people are actually confused. We are looking like this and not to the left side. We are only looking at the right side where people are jumping from here and there, buying, where the leaders are being bought by money, and the power crave of the leaders of both the right-wing parties is what confuses the people. So the question you asked about the strategy of Congress in Kerala or the left in Kerala is very different. See, like in any matters that the CPIM has established its clear stance with regard to the India bloc or with regard to the Lok Sabha elections right now, is that every state in India will be considered as a different bloc as itself. And each bloc with its own characteristic will perform accordingly, is what the CPM has been saying from the beginning. It has never said that Kerala will also be a part of India bloc. Never. Never have we said that. Even the recently, the Gen Secretary of CPIM and the ex-Gen Secretary of CPIM, the Politburo members have all given out the statements. You can even check their, statements in the website that they've given. It said that each state is considered as a different bloc because every state has a different characteristic. When it comes to West Bengal, it has a different characteristic. When it comes to Kerala, like my friend said, Kerala has been a state where both these parties, BJP has had no history in
Kerala. Fine, I take that point. I take that point. The traditional rivalry, and it continues to be like that. Yeah. Still, I was trying to bring attention to how does it complicate the idea of the India alliance. But before that, let me come to the BJP. Vineeta, they say that when two big powers fight, the third stands at a position to seek advantage from it. What does this dynamics of the Congress and the left in Kerala mean for the BJP? You've had big wins in 2014, 2019. Prime Minister has set a target of 400 plus this time. How is it that the BJP hasn't been able to gain a foothold in Kerala, and what different performance are you expecting this time?
Yeah, so before that, I would just like to, talk about the India alliance and the fractured verdict that even the spokespersons here are giving, they're sparring against each other. So when a voter votes, he or she has to remember that he's voting for India alliance and not for Congress or the CPIM. And India alliance is a fractured alliance because you can see how they fight over here in Kerala. They fight as arch enemies, and then, they go to Delhi and then have negotiations and pacts signed. So like our union minister, Smriti Irani ji famously said, hugging in Delhi and begging in Kerala. So that's India alliance for you voters. So voters, please be careful. Do you want unified force to lead India? Do you want Vikas? Do you want national perspective in the agenda to lead India forward? What India has achieved in the last 10 years is, do you want India to move forward from there, take a leap from there, further on? So to answering your question about Kerala, definitely yes, Kerala is a formidable, canvas for us. It is difficult to penetrate, but we are making, strides. We are doing our best. We have done a best selection of candidates as well. You see the secular kind of ethos with which we have selected candidates for each of our constituencies, and they are making efforts, and definitely we hope to at least get a few seats this time around in the Lok Sabha. But our vote share is definitely increasing, penetration is increasing, and very soon we'll see a BJP government in Kerala as well. And for all of you voters, we would like to clarify that BJP is a plural, secular, is a national party with the agenda of Vikas and Vikas alone, is what I would like to clarify. This is because this is just pre-election, so we need to clarify to the voters. But if you want stability, if you want prosperity, if you want India to progress and be in the top global forces to reckon with, we need to vote for the BJP. So okay, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, point taken. Dr. Gopakumar, a little more insight into the dynamics of the manner in which these major powers operate in Kerala. The one that we spoke about, friends outside, foes in the state. And BJP also, over the years 14, 19, we've seen the results, finding it really difficult despite Prime Minister Narendra Modi's appeal to find a foothold. Help us understand, where do each of these parties stand in the political spectrum?
This is a real predicament of current politics in Kerala as well as in the national politics. As rightly said, there are contradictions between India alliance in Kerala And all over the India, I think there are areas where they do not come together and as such form a strong single candidate, focused candidate against the BJP. So there are problems at the national level too, but in Kerala the problems are much more manifold because we have a tradition of bipolar politics for a very, very long time, led by the Congress called the United Democratic Front and by the CPM called the Left Democratic Front. And this bipolar politics has been in force for decades and decades, and creating a third front and also diluting that bipolarism has become very difficult. So the third alliance led by the BJP, which is called the National Democratic Alliance, which is strong at the national level, find problems in Kerala because it has issues in terms of coalition building because there are no strong allies to support the BJP. So BJP has to grow on itself rather than attracting vote catchers or constituents or elements that will bring them sensible vote support across the state or at least like in a region. Say for example, you have Muslim League with the UDF, you have CPI with the LDF. So the partners are equally important in a coalition. So what is lacking with the BJP-led NDA is that their partners are not strong enough to pull and support the BJP to gain formidable seats. The second point is regarding the narrative, as it is said. The narrative is actually, as of now, there is so much of predicament and confusion because the UDF has its goal of definitely attacking the CPM. It cannot but do that. And the CPM has to attack the UDF and it cannot but do that. But given a parliamentary election, you have another rival too. You have to focus upon the government of India, the government at the national level. So both the Congress as well as the CPM, both the UDF as well as the LDF target the national government at Delhi. At the same time, the UDF targets with the CPM and try to bring out those issues, the anti-governmental issues, and try to bring up the anti-incumbency factor. So on the other side, the LDF is focusing on definitely on the national government, central government, but at the same time, it has to attack the Congress, which is its traditional rival. But the problem with the left is that it is facing anti-incumbency in the state. And the Congress is not in power, either at the center or in state. So that gives the Congress a little comfort on the other side. So this is the kind of predicament that you face.
All right. On that note, let me turn to the wonderful audience members present here. If there are questions that you'd like to put to the leaders, the representatives here, that will be good. That will give us some insight into what are people of Kerala thinking. You could just raise your hand.
So my question is to Dr. Gopakumar and BJP's spokesperson. I know that this particular 2024 election is kind of a foregone conclusion, what is going to happen at the national level. But I see that this is a fight between nationalist forces and anti-nationals, internal and outside. So internal, we know who they are. But abroad, I know at least a couple of billionaires based in US who are funding to change the outcome in India. And also some Chinese forces because they don't want India to become a powerhouse in semiconductor manufacturing and things like that. So under Modi 3.0, India becoming a third largest economy is a big concern for a lot of forces outside India.
Okay, so your question is about the concern on the foreign influence, possible influence.
So what kind of things as a country we can do to face this foreign influence on Indian elections, as well as a party, what BJP are planning to do for that? Thank you.
I think in the Indian political context, we should not highlight the significance of national security along with building up a very powerful foreign policy for the growth of the nation. Being in the southern part of India and not cornered by any kind of hostile countries, we believe by and large the security of the country is taken for granted. This is not the feeling elsewhere in the east part or the northern part or the western part. So south we feel by and large safe. But given the focus of your question, I must say, with the Chinese interest in Sri Lanka and the kind of control they took over Hambantota and the natural influence that take over, and you have now the Kachadevi issue also. So given the kind of crisis that China tries to take over Sri Lanka, control them, definitely in future, if such developments happen, the string of pearls theory developed by the Chinese to contain India can affect South India also. So Kerala is not going to be free. Tamil Nadu is not going to be free, given the kind of national security that we often do not feel living in South India.
Okay, Vineeta, your take on, are there real risks of foreign influence in our elections?
Right. So I would like to say that, the people of India be rest assured, as long as we have the BJP government at the center, our borders are fortified, our, national interests are of prime importance to the government at the center. And especially if you see the kind of focus that we've had in Atmanirbhar Bharat, I think nowhere else, no other government has been so inward looking and so focused on, promoting indigenous resources and promoting the local economy as much as Modi ji has been. So therefore, this influence of, external forces influencing our production, our productivity or our GDP is absolutely, it's not justified at all. So we don't need to be worried about that. Our borders are secure, we are secure, and we are going to be a strong force to reckon with in the globe. So, we'll surpass China very soon under the Modi government for sure. If we just reflect back on our foreign policies and our track record of growth over the last 10 years itself, I think is enough for you, ladies and gentlemen, to take a call on how secure and how safe we are as a nation under the leadership of Narendra Modi and under the BJP government at the center.
Okay, you've made your point. We'll take one more question before we move ahead. Yeah.
I have a question for NDA representative. What are the major problems what are the present problems of civil rules, Indian civil rules? Why is it replaced for uniform civil code?
Yeah, the Uniform Civil Code, so it's not to belittle or not to kind of overrule any religious, any religion or any kind of regional code that you have in terms of civil code. But if you look at the history of our civil codes, we've seen the kind of protractedness, the kind of divisiveness that we've had, the kind of, the subjugation of women in various other civil codes. So we are moving towards a progressive uniform civil code that takes the best out of all civil codes. So that's what UCC is all about. It's not about suppressing any particular code or any particular religion. It's about the best for the women, for the weaker sections of our country. And it's going to be a positive and a very, very big social reform that's going to come about. Just like every other reform that Modi ji has taken is drastic resolutions for the benefit of the country without cowardice or without fear. That's what the leadership is all about, sir, today. So you don't have to worry about any religion or any code being, subverted, and it's going to be a very, very positive social reform that you will see.
And Tara, as a principal opponent on the national level, should the people be worried around UCC?
Yes, people should be worried around UCC, right? Now, what has Modi introduced over the past 5 years? They've bought in the CAA. And what is the crux of CAA? When they're giving citizenship, apart from the Islam religion, another 6 religions are getting citizenship. That's a direct, it's direct opposite to what UCC says. Right? And now we've been discussing national protection and those issues. Let me bring to the core issues of India. Why are we not talking about employment?
But complete this point. We'll come to the employment for sure. You've made that point. Let me go to the left. Gayathry, it's interesting that Tara also mentioned CAA. And one of the allegations that Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan levels against the Congress is that if you're so opposed to the CAA, why does it not appear on your manifesto? Help us understand, how does the left articulate Congress and the BJP stand on UCC as well as CAA?
We clearly know the stance of BJP on CAA, and about Congress in the first place we didn't know, but now it's kind of a joke because in Kerala they have not even been part of even one of the CAA protests that took place in the entire state. The Chief Minister himself was inaugurating all the CAA protests, which was very massive. Even in Trivandrum, people living in Trivandrum would have noticed the entire day had a huge traffic block because it was a really massive protest. And we invited the opposition leader of Kerala to be part of the CAA protest, and he denied. He didn't come. So in the beginning, he was part of it when the people of the assembly, all the MLAs of the assembly, the ministers of the assembly were part of the CAA. They said that we have to boycott this thing. They were part of the protest. But then they slightly moved out and they withdrew themselves, maybe because of the, some advice they got from the center. because CAA we don't have to touch. It's not safe to touch CAA right now.
All right.
And in the manifesto, it's not given clearly. Why? Because the otherwise comprehensive manifesto has not mentioned about CAA. Why do you fear? I believe, as far as I know, it was in their draft and it was removed. So why? Why do you fear the name? Why do you fear to speak out loud? Because we are loud. The CPIM here, the left here is very loud that CAA will not happen in Kerala. The CM has made it very clear.
Okay, you've made your point. Dr. Gopakumar, you wanted to quickly make a brief intervention?
I must say that UCC and CAA are totally different. UCC is guaranteed by the Constitution, Article 44 of the Constitution. And it aims to provide uniform civil rules for the whole country by taking into consideration of the issues concerning different communities. But when it comes to issues like marriage, divorce, maintenance, so these are all civil reforms that are required, having its impact not only on civil but also on criminal aspect. So the constitutional fathers were farsighted in bringing this, and therefore this has been provided in Article 44 under the directive principles of this state policy. So it is a part of the Constitution, and I don't think Uniform Civil Code is a regressive policy. To my mind, it's a very progressive policy.
And you've mentioned about...
coming to CAA quickly, it's totally different. As a matter of fact, I feel that it is not an issue in Kerala. Because this affects mostly the illegal migrants coming from the eastern and northern borders and a little of the western border. South has absolutely no problem.
All right, you've made the point, Dr. Gopakumar. Very briefly, Tara, the point that you have to make.
Yeah, I would like to first make my response to the CPIM representative.
Sure.
She was talking about Congress not making any protest for CAA in Kerala.
She mentioned,
it's a
why is it
blatant
not
lie.
mentioned in the manifesto?
It is mentioned in our manifesto that Article 15, which ensures that people of all religion, races, culture, their rights will be equally protected. And Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, our eminent leader today, Mr. Chidambaram, who wrote the manifesto, came up to the public and said that the CAA will not just be amended. It's not going to be amended. It is going to be ripped off.
But is it the
It is going to be ripped off.
Is it going to be the sort of backlash? Because it could have been simply mentioned, just three letters.
It is not going to be a backlash. It is very clearly mentioned that according to Article 15, CAA will be ripped off. Now, she has made a blatant lie that Congress has not participated in the CAA elections across India. CPM is only there in Kerala, so I'm not going to comment on that. Across India, from Kashmir to Cape Comorin, from Gujarat to Manipur, against CAA, it was the Congress party that has made protests. Around 800 people in Kerala were arrested against the CAA by the CPIM government, and they have not, and still their cases are going on. In India, it was Pinarayi Vijayan who first started the CAA detention center. It has not been there in any other states in Kerala.
But you've made your point. The question was about the manifesto, but fair enough, you've made your point. Let's take this conversation a little forward. Why there is an increasing focus on the southern states in this edition of the general elections. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also presented as a mission south for the BJP. Let's understand the significance of it from the BJP representative first here. Vineeta, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, when he's pushing the BJP into the southern states, we've seen that Kerala hasn't really yielded the kind of expectations that you may have. When you talk about 400 plus seats in general elections, what seats are you looking at in the southern states? In 2019, just as a piece of information, remember, BJP was the single largest party when the general elections concluded. What breakthrough are you hoping this time?
Yeah, so I think we have about 25, 29 odd seats in the south of India. So we are, our target is 50. So that's the target. So we are definitely trying hard, and Modi ji has come here several times. And I know Modi ji coming here, people might say that, just by holding a road show, it doesn't really impact the southerners. But it's the attempt, it's the effort, the symbolization of all the cultures and religions that he does in all his road shows and all the speeches that he makes. He adorns the, the local costume, which is not something to be laughed at. It's something to be appreciated because he's trying to build in this inclusive ethos in the whole spirit of India. That's what he is doing. And he's had this Act East policy, the Act West policy, the South policy as well. He's done so much of Vikas agenda for the South of India, despite having non-BJP ruled states. So as a country, definitely it's a responsibility of the Prime Ministers to govern, without any pride and prejudice. That's what he's been doing across the country, and the kind of push that he's been doing for Southern India in terms of everything, infrastructure, basic amenities, digital, the startup economy, the MSMEs. So everybody is extremely happy about the economic situation, especially in South India.
Briefly, I want to intervene about the happy picture that you paint, that Southern leadership states also talk about, and this comes as an allegation against the BJP, of a certain stepmotherly treatment coming in from the center. We're in Kerala. Kerala is one of the states that in fact went to the Supreme Court against the center as far as allocation of funds, borrowing limits are concerned. How do you also look at that perspective? Do the southern states look at BJP as the party that is going to take forward their aspirations?
So that's again a very, very false narrative, because if you look at the kind of funds that Kerala has received over the last 5 years, it's one of the highest in 16 states across India. So it's a complete myth, a false narrative that is being driven by a state which is reeling under budgetary, issues and deficiencies in their financial management, financial mismanagement. Look at the cooperative scams. Look at the kind of, they don't have money to give back to their depositors themselves. So it's a financial mismanagement of the state. The center can stretch themselves this much. You cannot stretch, so much more, because we have 28 states and 8 union territories to cater to. We just don't have the South Indian states. But despite that, we've been giving the funds. The funds have been given as per the rules, as per the allocations, as per the formula. Okay. So, and also it's gone beyond the formula as well. When the states again went to them, the finance minister again, lent them further. And that's when the Supreme Court said, stop. Let the state reflect on its finances themselves. What the financial mismanagement the state has incurred is not the center's problem. That's what the Supreme Court told Kerala when Kerala went to Supreme Court.
Okay, let's also hear it from Gayathry. The BJP would like to believe that the party is the best thing to have happened for Southern India. But your state, your government has gone to the Supreme Court saying that the treatment meted out to the state governments, Kerala in particular here we're talking about, is not fair. Could you elaborate on that point and the things
I don't think what she said is what actually the Supreme Court said in its verdict. It actually gave permission to the state to borrow 13,000 crore. So it doesn't say, the Supreme Court anywhere have never said that Kerala doesn't need any money and they're simply coming to the Supreme Court.
We have the verdict in front of us, ma'am.
The 13,000 crore rupees that Kerala have been allotted or maybe, given permission to borrow is because even the Supreme Court know that any borrowings that the state makes is being repaid, will be repaid. And Kerala is not the first state or the topmost state with the massive amount of borrowing in India. When it comes to the fiscal deficit thing, where is India standing? The finance minister of India is repeatedly saying about the fiscal deficit. Where is India standing? It is 3. It is 3. It has to be 3. Is it 3 in India? No. So every state's economy functions by borrowing, and borrowing is not a big deal when it comes to Kerala. Now when it comes to the government expenditure, Kerala is one of the top states where government expenditure happens regularly.
And Gayathry, just add to that quickly also just add to that, this southern push, Mission South that BJP Prime Minister Narendra Modi is leading, how is the left looking at it?
Like the CM and the state Gen Secretary of the CPIM said, BJP is not going to win in Kerala. That is very sure, because there is no place for BJP in the hearts of the people. Like she said, Modi ji would be coming here, embracing the culture of Kerala. One of the culture of Kerala is eating beef. So embracing the culture of Kerala is a lie that the BJP has always been saying, and people clearly know what is the culture of Kerala. It has been secular. It has been secular throughout.
Fine, you're calm and confident that BJP cannot make inroads. Let me come to the Congress. Now, Tara, while for the BJP, the southern states may come across as the final frontier after they've done well in the Hindi heartland, they've been consistent. The northeast also make inroads into eastern India. But for the Congress, many may see the southern states, and Kerala in particular perhaps, as one of the last bastions. And we again go back to that development of Rahul Gandhi contesting both from Amethi and Wayanad, and finally finding space, political space in Wayanad, which is again being debate it if he'll again go back to Amethi. How does the Congress, which is so strongly trying to defend its presence in the South, look at BJP's movement?
Shubhendu, the elections are going to span over the next 1 more month, right? And once the Kerala Lok Sabha elections are over, the other states are still pending. And we still have time for Rahul Gandhi to contest from whichever constituency he prefers, from Himachal Pradesh or Gujarat, or let him choose that. Let the Congress party choose that. He can choose right after the Lok Sabha elections in Kerala. Now, I would like to refute certain statements my dear friend from BJP has made here. See, she's talking about India booming under the BJP government under Modi. A simple question I would like to ask you is, in 2014, when BJP took over the governance, the unemployment rate in India was 2.4%. Now it is at a whooping high of 7.28% across the country. And among the youth, that is youth are people under the age of 30 years old, the unemployment rate is at 23.23%, whereas in Pakistan and Bangladesh is at 11% and 12.9% respectively. Now unemployment among the educated youth, I'm talking about postgraduates and graduates, is at a whooping 65.33% in the whole of the country. When the people of India are struggling so much, how can you say that India is progressing?
All right, you've made the points clear. Let me quickly get a reaction from the BJP as well. Kerala does have a stand at the top as far as unemployment in the immediate section is concerned, about 15 to 25 years, as compared to the national average. How do you look at the issue of unemployment, the challenge?
Absolutely. So Kerala is higher than the national average in terms of unemployment, definitely. So that again reflects in the state government's policies towards employment. We've seen the kind of out-migration the state has seen since many decades. We all have to look at jobs outside of Kerala, because Kerala does not have a conducive labor force, which is agreed globally. So that, so much so for that. So now regarding my Congress friends, data, I don't know where she's got the data from. She needs to quote the source of the data.
From the international labor.
So that's not correct, whatever you've said.
Please go back and check it.
And I'll check that, but definitely it's all wrong. But then what I would say is that under the UPA regime, the percentage of labor force under unemployment was 8.2%, and now it's 7.2 today under NDA. So that's the kind of lowering of unemployment as an unemployment. But our concept of unemployment is not like the Congress's concept, where we give apprenticeships to youth in different government jobs. It's about the startup economy. It's about enterprise development, which is what the youth of Kerala also are looking forward to today. They don't want to be subservient people like our mothers and fathers were in different government offices, with all due respect to them. But today the youth has a different mindset. They want to be their own masters of their own game. That's what Modi ji is giving to them. That's what the NDA government is providing, the startup economy. We are the third largest startup ecosystem in the world today. We have about 1 lakh startups, where you can look at the UPA time, how many startups were there? Hardly about 500 or so, I think, not even that many startups.
So
the MSMEs, the ailing MSMEs, which we've given a new life to MSMEs under the NDA government. The UPA, the entire department was stagnant.
To an extent that it has been able to solve the problem of unemployment is for each of us to also go back and look at the data that the leaders share, because they seem to be quoting different sources. We have very less time. Let me quickly bring in some more issues. Now, talking about solving the problem of unemployment, there's a mega port that is also coming up in Kerala, in Thiruvananthapuram coast, which is expected to change the destiny of the state. Yet there are also concerns of the coastal population, of the fishermen population. I'll take very quick, very brief comments from each of you. How do you take a balanced look at the challenge of the existing population and new opportunities? Let me start with you, Gayathry. Very briefly, please.
Yeah, like she said, Kerala is one of the states where unemployment is a problem, and Kerala is no other block apart from India where, nothing is going to touch. Kerala is like a different country. No, it's part of the same country where unemployment is an issue, where the youth unemployment is in a historic high, like my friend said. Keeping that in mind, see, she talked about startup economy.
No, I'm sorry, Gayathry, just come to the coastal issues and the port that is coming up so that people get an idea about your perspective.
That's where
Very briefly.
See, startup economy in India, Kerala has secured the first position. Even the Indian government has given awards to Kerala for its, the interest it has given, the investment it has given in startups, and the Kerala government has bring out a project concentrating on 1 lakh startups a year, and that has gone up to 1.5 lakhs every year. So in that manner, Kerala has gained. And where is the startups coming? We see that even in the coastal areas, the youths are getting higher education. They're all getting primary education for free, and the primary education in Kerala is undoubtedly great. The government schools, is how it's functioning. And it's well in par with the private schools, are much better than that. So the primary education is no issue, and the people in Kerala, the students in Kerala, are in a position to take higher education even abroad.
Fine.
Because
the
of their
literacy rates
financial.
are high in Kerala.
Yeah.
We've noticed those figures, but
and
you made a point because
that is also aiding to the unemployment, because we can't have so many job opportunities for the same educated.
Okay, Gayathry, you've made your point. Tara, the concerns of the coastal population in particular and the new infrastructures are coming up. How does one strike a balance? What is your vision? Very briefly, we don't have much time.
See, when it comes to Vizhinjam Port, I would like to emphasize that it was Mr. Shashi Tharoor, the UDF candidate for Trivandrum, who opened ways for this contract or for this project to move forward. We can see that when you look at the Vizhinjam Port, for a long period of time it was stuck, whereas he brought in the right contractors, he worked with the governments in the center and the state to move it forward. And talking about employment, again I'll come back to Shashi Tharoor. In Technopark, he's the one who bought companies like Nissan, Taurus, Ernst & Young. From 17,000 employees, it went up to 70,000 employees when these companies came into the
And the concerns of the coastal population, what is the vision for them?
I think the BJP candidate can answer to that question. Coastal population with Adani building the port in a very wrong manner.
But you just said that the port has been brought by Shashi Tharoor, and he's responsible for it.
Shashi Tharoor has bought in the right contractors, but we can see that in the Vizhinjam Port, the way the Vizhinjam Port has been constructed, there has been lots of accidents happening in the sea where the fisherman has been killed. There are boats going upside down in the waters. So I think Adani has made use of the opportunity, but a proper building has not taken place.
Okay, fair enough. Very briefly.
Bundle of contradictions everywhere. So I will do that. So the CPM chooses to, take advantage of the center when they want. They say the startup economy is very good in Kerala. Why? It's because of the center schemes.
Yes, but come to
the
main
center
point.
schemes come directly to the state, to the beneficiaries in the startup economy, in the MSMEs. So, but I have to make this point.
Sure.
There is no state intervention here. That is why the startup economy is doing so well in Kerala. And the Congress spokesperson completely contradicted herself when she said Shashi Tharoor was the one who chose Adani, but then when you
heard that, but BJP's perspective, we hardly
couldn't
have
answer
time.
anyway.
Your
So what I'm
perspective.
trying to say is sustainability is one of the top agendas of the NDA government. The way we've surpassed the NDC commitments in the Paris Agreement, we've gone, we've surpassed our commitments already. We said we'll achieve so much in 2030. We've done that even before that. So the kind of drive and push that we have towards sustainability, towards protecting our coastlines is seen never before.
So that you think that sort of a vision is
that will
going
be
to
a
be taken
balanced,
care of?
balanced economy, sustainability will be the key agenda going forward, because we have done the basic amenities. We've saturated the country with all basic amenities.
Okay.
Now going forward, it would be sustainable development.
Fine, you've made your point. We have no time left now, but just final comments from Dr. Gopakumar, a point that I wanted to discuss in detail. But because we are in Thiruvananthapuram, you just brief take on a very exciting contest that we're witnessing. The name of leader Shashi Tharoor, there's also Rajiv Chandrasekhar and Ravindran ji from the left. Very briefly, sir, your take, the contest that is happening here.
Here it's a triangular contest, no doubt about that. And both the Congress and the BJP are very powerful and very popular in this Trivandrum Lok Sabha constituency. As we had seen in the last time, 2019 also, or in the previous decades, if you take the example, relatively the Left Democratic Front has received so much of setbacks in Trivandrum, except on a few occasions. Unfortunately, that the CPI is not a very strong party in Trivandrum Lok Sabha, but CPM is really strong. But since a seat has been allotted to the CPI, it was not able to make the mark on many occasions, and this had given opportunity for the Congress to win on a number of occasions. But this time it is going to be very tight contest, because it's triangular in the sense, in the last time it was triangular, but there was vote transfer from CPI to Congress, and that helped Shashi Tharoor to win comfortably. This time I do not know, because given the triangular contest, if all the three candidates are going to compete on an equal footing, I think the Rajiv Chandrasekhar will have an edge. But if on the other side, if vote transfer is going to take place, certainly Congress will win the seat.
All right, thank you for making that point. And that's all the time that we had in this edition of Poll Pulse. Let me quickly thank Vineeta Hariharan from the BJP, Tara Tojo Alex from the Gayathry Babu from CPIM, and Dr. Gopakumar, political analyst. Thank you for being my ally in this conversation. Thank you to all the audience members also for being so patient, wonderful, and your interventions. And with that, we conclude this edition of Poll Pulse from Thiruvananthapuram. Just a humble appeal, when the time comes for you to vote in your respective constituencies, make the effort, go out and exercise your franchise. With that, I take your leave from Thiruvananthapuram. Namaskar. Tracking the first phase of general elections, Team Poll Pulse has reached India's northeast in Assam. This is the tea city of India, Dibrugarh.
They are not getting jobs in the local area, like in Dibrugarh or nearby districts and all.
Home to the finest tea, the state is set for a cracker of a contest. This is 2024. Can the Congress and allies offer a fight back, or will the Modi juggernaut be unstoppable? Watch Poll Pulse on DD India.
स्वागत आहे टू मैग्नेटिक महाराष्ट्र. Share in the richness of Maharashtra as one family, united by the collective vision of building a better tomorrow.
Hype versus facts. In-depth news and analysis with experts who will help you decide why this election matters. DD India is the main election headquarters, with numbers most accurate, data most reliable, and viewership across the platforms. Stay tuned to the Great Indian Election only on weekdays at 8:30 p.m. IST and 1500 hours GMT.
Tracking the first phase of general elections, Team Poll Pulse has reached India's northeast in Assam. This is the tea city of India, Dibrugarh.
They are not getting jobs in the local area, like in Dibrugarh or nearby districts and all.
Home to the finest tea, the state is set for a cracker of a contest. This is 2024. Can the Congress and allies offer a fight back, or will the Modi juggernaut be unstoppable? Watch Poll Pulse on DD India.
voice of a rising aspirational world. Stories of challenges, struggles and accomplishment. A world battling conflict, hunger and poverty. Embracing growth, development, science and technology. A voice of progress, a voice of unity. Watch Voice of the Global South with me, Akshay Dongre, only on DD India.